What is up, guys? How are you doing? I'm your host, Luis Martinez, coming to you live from the race show. Um, I'm sorry I sound like complete dog shit. I ended up getting a little bit of a sore throat yesterday. Um, actually, I just thought maybe it was allergies or whatever. And then today I'm like all congested all up in here. So if I sneeze, if I am blowing out my nose and things like that, I apologize in advance. I didn't want to cancel this. I have a very special guest with me today. I'm going to show you a quick video real quick. And by the way, before I show you a quick video, um, I'm going to say who our sponsor is today. PSI Performance Tuning and Fabrication. They're located in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. And my guest is actually one of the big head honchos at PSI Performance. So you're going to be learning more about them today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. The more you like the more you like this, the more it drives the algorithm up, and we get more viewerships and things like that. And we can kind of make this show more mainstream. Anything you want to ask me or my guest, please comment as much as possible. Say hello. Let us know you're here. But I'm gonna show you a quick video real quick of my guest. Hold on one second here. Gonna share my screen. Let's see. Here we go. I'm gonna blow this up here.
I'll be the last one standing. I'll be the last one standing. I'll be the last one standing. When the battle's done, yeah, you could let them come. No one's gonna take my place. 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 Let's go! No one's gonna take my place. No one's gonna take my place. Be the last one standing.
So that is Mr. Don Bangs. What's going on, man? How are you?
What's up? Pretty good. How about yourself?
At work? Just got off
Yeah,
work?
finished up. Just hanging out. Was actually trying to get a few things done on our shop car here, the Mustang, but pause for a second to do this deal.
So knowing you'll probably get back to wrenching right after this, huh?
Yeah, at least I kind of literally have it just kind of chilling there. It's sitting on the jack kind of precariously. So yeah, we'll jump back on that once we're done here.
Nice. So guys, if you don't know Mr. Don Bangs, he is actually my crew chief for the Luis Martinez Racing operation, and overall fabricator. He works on my car. He's the one who's getting it ready for this season, and all that fun stuff. So I guess how did you get involved in racing and all that fun stuff? Like, how did you get involved in the car scene?
Well, as far as racing in cars, for me, I didn't never really actually had a choice. I mean, my dad started, I think he got into drag racing when he was in college. So when I came around, he was already deep into it, and I grew up with him in the garage, and on Sundays we were at the racetrack. So
Gotcha.
I mean, I played sports, here and there as a kid and stuff like that. But as soon as I was old enough to be of value at the racetrack, that's where Sundays were spent.
Gotcha.
So,
Your dad
I've
still
kinda
races,
just
right?
oh yeah, he's still heavy into it. He's actually just getting his dragster back together. I sent you a few pictures of it, but he's got
That
like a race tech. Yep. Yes, he's got a race tech like rear engine super comp dragster that he runs. He does like the NHRA circuit and a couple local series,
Gotcha.
doing the 890 index style racing.
Gotcha. So I actually found a video of your dad. Here you go.
The starting line, you'll see him drop back. The cars are capable of running quicker than 8.9 seconds. but that's all they're allowed to run. It is a true driver's category. You got to hit the tree. You got to make a good decision at the racetrack. Just watch for the lights on the board. It's going to be a first-time national event winner. It's going to be Breakout Barrett and Win for Bangs, and they are celebrating on the starting line.
In Super Comp, it was Donald Banks. You carried it all the way to the final here. What was key in this win for you?
Just maintain consistency. Just try to keep up with the track, and it's not easy. Not easy. First national event win. Got some divisionals, but two divisionals, but first national.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was the Maple Grove National event. I think maybe 2 years ago. So yeah, that was really special. That one. He's been kind of chasing that for a while.
Did you talk to him? Like, were you there at that one or no?
So that one I actually wasn't. We were that day particular. We were actually having a benefit for a friend of ours that had passed away at the shop, and we were having a benefit here local. So I was at that, but I was on the phone with him and stuff like that right before and after, and it was a really cool thing. We kind of watched it live because NHRA does the streaming and everything with NHRA TV, so we were able to stream it live. It was a really cool thing. Yeah.
I'm sure he was pumped because national event and not many people can do that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's something that if you especially if you run the NHRA series and you chase that, you do the divisionals and the national opens, and you maintain your grade points just so you can go to the national events and stuff like that. It's it's a process, and the guys put a lot into it, just like any series. So chasing that national event win, I mean that's the coup de grace, The only thing above that would be a national championship or something like that. So, but it's I think that was real special for him. That was a really cool deal.
Ricky said we need you to get back to the track.
Yeah, seriously, I feel like this has been the longest winter off season for me. That I've ever had. Just it's kind of just played out this year that we've been doing a bunch of upgrades, Bobby, on both the Nova. Getting our Mustang put back together and stuff. We have Jared's Mustang and stuff that's getting back together. It's just we haven't really gotten everything quite situated quite yet. So we're waiting on parts for a little bit, and just a whole lot of work to be done. So, but now we're trying to get back out there as soon as possible for sure.
So, what was the first car you ever took down the strip?
The first car I ever took down the strip was, I don't know, actually. I probably took one of my buddy's cars down the strip at some point, at ATCO on a Wednesday night or some shit when I was younger. We would basically always end up there either on Wednesdays, Fridays, all sorts of stuff. But
so what's
first car I put together? I had a 68 Rambler, that car. So I bought that thing when I was 14 years old with my dad. It belonged to I think the mother or the grandmother of the announcer at Raceway Park. So the guy that used to do the announcing at Raceway Park, that was his mother's car that she drove up until she couldn't steer it anymore because it didn't have power steering. So they parked it in the garage.
Oh my God.
When I bought it from them. They were the original owners, and it was a 68 Rambler post. So it looks like a scrambler and everything like that. Except obviously it doesn't have the red, white, and blue, but it had a 199 6-cylinder in it, and it was the slowest car that you could drive for sure.
How fast did it go?
Slow. I don't know if it broke 20s. It might have went a 19 or something. I don't know. It was actually kind of funny because, like I said, I bought it when I was 14. So, I didn't even have a driver's license or anything. So, of course, I immediately started working on it, get it all dolled up. And we left the 6-cylinder in it at first because I couldn't quite convince my dad to let me swap it out yet, being 14. So, we had it together. And my dad he's part of some AMC club because he's an AMC fan. And they have a race every year at Cecil and stuff. So we took it down there, and I remember one of his buddies actually raced it too, and I remember it running 20s or something like that when I was, I was still 14 at the time.
Wow.
So, but yeah, as soon as I was 16, I started driving it. I actually built a little 401 for it. So we got a V8 from, another AMC V8, and we built that up, me and my dad, for a high school graduation project. So we swapped the V8 into it and shit, and that was pretty cool. Drove that all through high school and stuff like that. Definitely a cool car to have when you're 16, 17. I don't know if it's the smartest car to have when you're 16, 17 years old, but it was fun. When when I put the V8 in, it went like 12s, went like 12 O's, 12 teens, and then I think I eventually like designed a little Vortex supercharger for it and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
started going way too fast. Didn't have a roll cage, didn't have nothing like that. So
Ricky said, get y'all's asses down to MIR May 26th. So I think I am definitely coming. I don't know about you, Don, but he'll probably be working on my car or something like that.
26. I don't know. That might be a PDRA race that weekend. I'm not sure. But if I am not at the PDRA, then yeah, MIR sounds like a good spot to be.
You're one of the big head honchos at PSI Performance. So why don't we
I
talk?
don't know if I go that far as far as saying big head honcho. But
what all do you do at PSI? Like, what do you do personally, and then like, what does the shop do? Like overall.
So we'll start with the shop. PSI, we're basically a one-stop shop for anything high performance. We do everything from street car upgrades and builds, from your, import, Subaru, Mustang, Camaro, all the domestic stuff as far as like just mild to wild street car builds, and all the way to complete race car fabrication, start to finish. So we have a complete in-house fabrication shop and everything, CNC plasmas, press brakes. We have a 4,000 watt fiber laser. We have CNC mandrel bending capabilities and everything all in the house. So we can basically provide any type of fabrication service that you might need or whatever, either for racing or even outside of racing. Obviously we specialize in the race car stuff and, motorsports fabrication, but we can kind of do anything. And then we do a lot of private label fabrication for, a few other companies out there doing either exhaust systems or private label parts manufacturing and stuff just within the manufacturing end of it. We have a all-wheel drive dyno jet. So we do, tuning and everything like that, chassis setup. Basically, like I said, one-stop shop for anything automotive high performance.
And not just Subarus and Evos, right?
No, not at all. I mean, originally we did a ton of the import stuff starting out,
Right.
but basically ever since I came here, I've always been a domestic guy. I had a few imports, when I came here, but I've always had domestics and stuff. So I've always liked the domestics, and I feel like now anymore it's 50-50, as far as what we work on, whatever comes in the door and stuff like that. But we do a ton of the drag race stuff, obviously. A lot of the higher end fabrication type stuff with the drag race end of it, chassis builds and turbo kits and everything like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't.
like I said,
I didn't know when I first met you, which was like I think the end of 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
Like
couple years
I
ago.
didn't know that you guys did like big time drag race stuff. My buddy Mike, his car was there, I think, at the time, and he has a twin turbo big block Chevy deal,
Yeah.
and I was looking for a new shop to partner with, and he was like, "Oh, why don't you take it to PSI?" And I was like, "PSI?" I was like, "The Subaru place?" And he's like, "No, man, like they do other stuff too. Like they do big time drag racing stuff as well, and fabrication, and fast car stuff. You know what I mean?" So
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, "Oh,
of course.
okay." And then I talked to you, and then the deal happened pretty quickly or whatever.
Yeah, it worked out good. Like I said, we do offer the race support and stuff like that. That's something that we've done for a long time. I was telling you a little bit before about it. We were doing years ago. We would do it with a road course car. We had a Evo 10 that we built and supported through the whole shop and everything. And the client would basically arrive and drive. Yeah, that's actually a picture there.
Uh-huh.
So that was a complete arrive and drive situation. He lived out of state, kind of like you do, and we would build, maintain, service the car between races. At races, we would crew on the car and service it between heats and stuff like that, and make sure he had a good car every time we went out on the racetrack. So,
Yeah.
but that's when you came in, that was a service that you talked to us about, and that's basically what we do for the Nova.
Right.
So the
Yeah,
Nova,
you
we
guys.
get that thing ready and bring that thing to races and stuff like that. Everything from logistics of travel, bringing the car to and from the track, and everything to, like I said, crewing day of the race, everything, service in between.
Yeah, that's basically you guys totally turned my program around. I got noticed a lot last year just because we won a lot, right? But I've been doing small tower racing for a little bit now. But I didn't win, so nobody knew who the hell I was. I was just a nobody. I mean, I'm still a nobody, but
We're all nobodies.
yeah. So, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I didn't win like one round of heads up small tire racing before, and then I partnered with you guys, and you guys totally changed everything around. Because I'm the type of person, like, I'm not a mechanic by any means. I just like having the toys and I like driving them.
You try hard though. You really do.
Yeah. So but yeah. So what do you do for the shop? In general.
For the shop, I'm kind of a jack of all trades here. As far as the fabrication end of it, I pretty much handle a lot of all the drag race stuff. As far as the racing end of it, I've kind of spearheaded that myself. Just it's something I've always obviously been involved with and stuff. I just from being involved with it for so long, I feel like I know everyone. When I go to the racetrack, it's like I can't go 10 feet without saying hi or whatever to someone. So it's just being around, being at the tracks, knowing the people and stuff like that. It just kind of made sense to kind of handle most of the drag race stuff and everything. So as far as everything from job planning, a job will come in, we'll plan out the whole job and everything like that, get the parts ordered in and stuff, to actual fabrication of the thing. I do the maintenance on the race cars and everything, all the way to packing the trailer, loading the trailer, driving the truck and trailer to the racetrack, unloading and crewing and everything. So throughout the day to day at the shop, I mean, we got a crew of guys here that are just great. The crew that we have here now are awesome. Everyone really, they're really good at what they do. They stay focused and on task and stuff like that. So as far as like managing the shop as much, it's a lot better than it has been previously and stuff. So which is really working out great. Like I said, the crew we have here is just really great now, and kind of proud of where we're at as far as that's concerned. So, but basically just kind of keeping tabs on things day to day at the shop and working on the cars that come in.
Nice.
So,
who else do you help out, or crew chief for, or whatever? You help out a few teams.
Yeah. I mean, I do it for a bunch of different people. I guess some of the bigger ones that we help out are obviously we do everything for your program and stuff like that with the Nova and all the other cars you had. You had the Dragster for a while and stuff like that, and the Camaro now. Fran, I do the full PDRA circuit with Fran Schatz, RPM Motorsports.
Yep.
Race Proven Motorsports, rather. So he's got the red Corvette with the Pro Charge LS, and we do the PDRA Super Street, which is a newer class, but really is an exciting class. Honestly, this is like my first kind of foray with him into the PDRA stuff, and honestly, it's a really fun series. They have everything really super organized, and the way they lay the races out and everything, it's a really good group of people and stuff. So I've enjoyed that a lot, doing that, just doing the PDRA events and stuff like that. So we have another one, like I said, coming up at the end of the month, so that'll be cool. I forget actually where we're going this time. Down south somewhere. I forget which race this one is coming up, but it's down south somewhere, I believe. But Along with Fran, I help out Rich Ong. He has that purple Talon.
Yep.
Okay,
I
that
think
was
I
a
have
car that we built at the shop. You know, I met Rich years ago. He was actually, yep, there's Rich's car. Rich was actually a customer of a friend of mine, Carl Pritz. He was tuning it and stuff like that. And I think he brought it up to our shop to use our diner or something like that, and ended up meeting Rich, hitting it off. And, you know, to this day, Rich is probably one of my closest friends to this day. So, I mean, it really, going racing with Rich is an experience all in itself. You know, I'd like to say that we are super focused on racing the whole time, but you know, racing almost sometimes feels like an added benefit, you know, on top of just hanging out and making memories and having a good time.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had as much fun at a racetrack that I've had going racing with Rich. It's an experience. You know,
Yeah.
so
I've been there for some of those experiences, and
yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
"Holy shit, this guy
Yeah,
does it up." I think I have a
yeah.
picture of. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's one of his deals. You know, I think that's the shootout. As you can see, one of the parts of racing with Rich, if you notice on that table, is transmission parts everywhere. It's
Yes.
just an explosion of transmissions. So you can pretty much guarantee that's going to happen. You know, anytime with the all-wheel drive stuff, it's you know, there's not a lot of sitting back and relaxing, but we make it fun.
Is
So
it is it
just
because
with
nobody makes a strong enough transmission for his power level?
Yeah, I mean, with the DSM stuff, you're super limited on parts. I mean, some of the parts that are available are some of the parts that we use in the transmission are the OEM parts that came with it. And I mean, this car made 160 horsepower factory. So yeah, we're in the 13 to 1400 horsepower level. So things don't last basically. You know, you're constantly chasing planetaries and just internal transmission parts nonstop, just being all-wheel drive and everything like that.
Nice.
So looks like Fran commented, we're actually not going south, we're going to Ohio. So, you know what I mean? My geography skills are a little bit off there, but
Isn't
either way,
Ohio
it'll
isn't
be good
Ohio
time.
south? Who goes to Ohio anyway?
No, Ohio's definitely not south. But Ohio, Norwalk is honestly probably one of the nicest tracks on the schedule. You
I
know,
heard.
it's
I've never been there, but I heard it's pretty
yeah.
nice.
I will say if you can find yourself at a race at Norwalk, I would make the trip. It is worth it. They used to do like a pound of ice cream for $1. I don't think
What?
they kind of switched it off now. They just have like the self serves, but yeah, forever they were known for their pound of ice cream for $1. Yeah, underneath they have like giant stands, almost like a big NASCAR track, like these
Oh
massive
wow.
bleachers. And underneath the bleachers, they have like little shops all set up, like little not kiosks, but like little tiny food shops and concessions and stuff like that. And they would sell the ice cream. It was like a pound of ice cream for $1, and everyone would rave about it. You know, any of the NHRA races and stuff that would go there, everyone that would be the talk of it. Everyone wanted their ice cream.
So, what's better, radio racing or slick tire racing?
That's a loaded question. You know what I mean? I like them both. You know, I mean, as far as they both have their pros and cons. Like I don't know. I personally like the radial stuff and everything, but that's only because if I want to do big tire stuff, I want a Pro Mod and I can't afford one of those. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I just gotta watch. So I gotta stick to my radials and stuff like that to satisfy my adrenaline rush. But there is something to be said about watching, you know, big tire Pro Mod hike the front wheels about the 300-foot mark when the lockup comes on and that thing just squats and goes down the track on the wheelie bars and the back tires. I mean, that's bad as shit. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know what to say.
No,
But
I agree. I like them both as well. I think, in my opinion, the radials are more fun, in my opinion, but you can you can usually go faster and stuff. But the problem is, you need a perfect track. You can't race like
yeah,
in the middle of summer
100%.
during the day.
And that's the thing with the Raiders. You give up a lot as far as what you're able to do. And then you got to race all times of the day, during the day, in the heat, in the hot. You know, you just can't go as fast.
Yeah.
Flat out, you just got to worry about getting down instead of
Yep.
worrying about going fast. So there's a little give and take as far as that's concerned, for sure, as far as the track prep required and everything for the radials. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you think radios are more fun, you probably just haven't been in a fast enough slick tire car.
Yeah.
Is basically, I think, what it comes down to.
Yeah, you're
Because
right.
those Pro My guys look like they are having some fun.
Yeah, no, I mean you gotta be a driving son of a bitch to be driving one of those, man. They're dancing all over the
Yeah.
place, you know.
Yeah. But yeah,
So
like he said, anything fast.
yeah.
If it's got engines and it's fast, I'm on it. You know what I mean? Hide the keys.
um so you have a Mustang, right?
Yep.
And let's talk a little bit about that. You know, what's up with it? Where is it? Uh
It's
what's all done
actually
to it?
it's right here. It's right behind me still.
Nice.
So yeah, we've been putting that together over the last few years. We actually had it together a couple years ago, and after a long process and stuff, yeah, that was back when it was real nice and pretty. But so we put that together. It's like kind of like a shop car and everything. Had a buddy of mine, Jason, and his dad over at JE painted it and stuff, and it was beautiful. Had some very early success. It was actually really cool. First race that we actually raced the car at, after putting it together, we went and we tested a few things, got the car kind of ironed out, and then we ran the 275 series that they had at ATCO and stuff. And so basically our debut race happened to be a Wally race at ATCO that they were racing for the Wally. So we ended up winning that race and collecting the Wally on our first day out with the car. So that was a cool experience for sure.
Nice.
Nice way to kind of set the tone.
Is that it right there?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, it worked out really good. That was a good day for sure.
So
Unfortunately, soon after that, we had a little bit of a mishap up at Maple Grove and ended up crashing the car.
oof.
So that was, I don't know, I guess it was about 2 years at this point now. That it just got the car back, it's kind of sat for a little bit, and then just kind of getting it back together. Yeah, that was the picture of it there at Maple Grove. So you can see it got pretty tore up, so it needed a little bit of work. We went ahead and front halved it, threw a new quarter in. It's got all new interior and stuff now, all carbon tubs and all that kind of stuff. We redid the suspension. We kind of basically ended up redoing the whole car all over again, start to finish. So built the whole car from scratch, fucked it up. Now we're fixing it. So
did you put a new motor setup or anything?
no, the motor was actually good. Well, we're still saying it's good, but no, it checked out. Everything about it kind of checked out okay as far as the motor. The way the crash kind of happened, everything shut off right away. Oil pressure was all good, and the motor actually never really got touched.
Nice.
Lucky to say that. So everything else surrounding the engine, though, definitely took the hit. So that everything's kind of been replaced. So everything from the firewall forward is all brand new outside of the motor. New turbo kit, all new front tube work, everything like that. So kind of redid the whole car. We new titanium exhaust, charge pipes, all that kind of stuff. We switched turbos. We had a precision on it before, just kind of what we always use. But now we have an HPT that we're going to try out. So one of their new 102 millimeters that we got. Pretty excited about that deal. Those things look pretty wild. So pretty excited to get that on the dyno and kind of see how that compares, pound for pound to what we've used before.
Yeah, I heard they're pretty decent. I mean, I'm a Garrett guy through and through, but
no, I hear you. That's what I'm saying.
know.
I'm going to try them all till we try them all. So I basically, like, what I like to do is, just from running a shop, I kind of find this for a lot of things. It's like we go with what works.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily go with just straight up brand loyalty, as far as what, but if a certain brand has something that just works, a certain part or whatever that works every time we use it, we tend to use that all the time or whatever. But, we tend to use what works best for what the customer is trying to do, so as far as different parts for different applications and stuff like that, we're always going to kind of spec out what works best for the class or the rule set and stuff like that.
Would you rather drive or help out? What do you prefer?
So I love driving. I've always driven. I've always wanted to drive and had that drive to drive, or whatever. And kind of had that. Now, that being said, over the last couple of years, obviously, with doing a lot more of the crew stuff with, our car being down and getting fixed and stuff, and just basically focused on nothing but the crew end of it, it kind of gives you a different perspective on the whole situation,
Yeah.
at the racetrack from being a driver and stuff like that. And I've been enjoying this almost just as much, to be honest. I mean, the success is obviously that's great, but that always just doesn't, it's not always there. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I hear you.
there's a lot more times you're going to be going home not a winner than you are a winner, and it's definitely just a different kind of experience going to the track, just strictly as like a crew or a crew chief or whatever, just not driving. It's just, a little bit different, but
Well,
I've enjoyed it. It's
when
good.
stuff breaks, it's not yours.
It's not technically mine, but it's still
Yeah.
my problem. So,
No, yeah,
so
I know.
you know what I mean? It's still, it comes down like, yeah, I might not be, fiscally responsible for this deal, but I am still responsible for it. So we're going to need to still figure this out at the end of the day, as far as getting it back together, getting it patched up for the next round or whatever we need to do. So, yeah, somehow it still feels like it's mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you care, you know what I mean? There's
Yeah, I mean, you have to,
Yeah.
you have to. It's kind of how it is with any kind of racing program, whether it's your own, whether it's somebody else's that you're helping out with or whatever. I mean, you can pretty much always pick out who has their program sorted. When
Yep.
you're at the racetrack or whatever, you can see who's got their shit together.
Yep.
Just from how they operate at the racetrack, how they're focused and how they, their car and everything. Are they coming up? Are they able to, string passes together? Are they, out in left field no matter what and stuff like that? Is their car always leaking or having problems and stuff like that? It's just running a race program, even just your own, not even for someone or on a professional level or whatever. It's just it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
So if you have a race car and you want to be successful at race carring, you better be ready to work on that car.
Yeah.
And it is demanding 100%. So as soon as you start stacking up a bunch of other people's cars on top of your own and of a job and stuff like that, it gets hectic for sure, quick.
Yeah. How do you
But
find a time to do the shop, help out crewing, sometimes driving, and say like an event like import versus domestic, you got like 5 guys you're helping out,
yeah,
how do you not get like stressed out and fall apart?
yeah, C4 energy is you know what I mean, or whatever. But I mean, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm an expert on any of that yet. The World Cup this year was an experience for sure. Like you said, I think I had 5 clients that I was kind of working with at that point, and it was hectic.
Yeah.
So just managing that was a big one for me this past year, just trying to get that figured out and kind of get that going. You know what I mean? Because you kind of want to make sure you're focusing on all of them and you can only do so much and stuff. Luckily, everyone had their own help as well. So it wasn't, all me and stuff like that. But, it's definitely hectic. I have very understanding people around me, I guess, and it's just there's just not enough hours in the day is what it comes down to. So
Loopy said you'll always be a winner to me, Don.
That's my man, Loopy. Loopy's always got my back.
So you've done, obviously you've done bracket racing and you've done heads up racing,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done other stuff too. You've done road course racing. What's your favorite type, of racing? I mean, I assume it's drag racing, but
Yeah,
what class?
it's
Is it pro mod?
100%. It's well, I don't know. Something to be said. I love the no time stuff. You know what I mean? Because just growing up, it's not like I've just had $1 billion to spend on whatever, and so it was always kind of like we're building our own stuff. We're scraping together spare change and spare parts to get our cars together and stuff. So just, kind of always coming in a way, being the underdog kind of thing. I think No Time gives you the ability to navigate the rules or the lack thereof, and put together a combo that maybe you can afford, but still kind of go fast and maybe compete with some of the faster cars that, if you were class racing, you probably wouldn't ever be able to touch that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just with some of the rule sets out there and the type of money that's being spent now to go that fast and be a front runner. Not that it's cheap to go fast at all. I mean, it cool costs money. How cool do you want to be, as far as
Right.
that's concerned? But it's just, I love the No Time stuff because it gives you the ability to put together something, build something that you're capable of building, and, just come correct. You know what I mean? Throw it all out there on the table and see if you brought enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that whole aspect to me, I always thought that was cool. You know what
Yeah.
I
No, I
mean?
agree.
But yeah, if I had a bunch of money and nothing to do with it, we'd be having a pro mod. For sure.
So, this is Jared's car, right?
Yep, that one's
Yeah.
Jared's car. So that's a car. They reached out last year. We started working with them. Made a couple changes to the car and stuff like that, just to kind of get it sorted out. And then started working. Unfortunately, had a little bit of a mishap with that one down at OBX last
Yep.
year.
That was I was driving that one.
Yeah. So, but it's well on its way to being mended. We already got all the body work all fixed up and stuff like that. So it's all nice and straightened out. Honestly, just gotta, chisel out a few hours to get over there and get that thing buttoned up. It just needs the interior put back into the back. We got some carbon tubs for it. We're gonna do all carbon interior in the back, get it all patched up, and then we got a different turbo for it. I had one of the big precision 116 or 118s on it or something like that. We got a little bit different turbo for it, so we're going to try that out and see how it likes that. So, but that's something I'm trying to get that patched up here in the near future, so we can get out with that deal.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little badass car for sure with that small
for sure.
block.
We get that thing lined out. That thing should run real well.
Yeah,
real good.
Mark Benson said pro mod with radials, get it right.
Yeah, there we go. He's not wrong.
Yeah, I actually like some of the South races, No Time races, because they actually do allow pro mods with radials on it, and I think a pro mod with radials looks so badass.
Well, that's it. You got the radio versus the world type stuff. So, you know what I mean? You go down south and they have some of the, extreme 28 races or whatever, or some of I know Mike Hill puts on those big races and stuff like that. Kind of the bear shit only or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, Mark's got himself a whole collection of them down there. I'm going to have to go down there and visit, see if they left the keys in any of them.
Donnie Bang Bang is the GOAT.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So I have a two-part question. What do you enjoy most about what you do, and what do you hate most about what you do or the industry?
All right. Well, we'll start with what I enjoy, obviously. So what I enjoy, I love the fabrication aspect of it. You know what I mean? Anytime, a customer seeks you out and comes and like, all right, this is what I have as an idea of kind of what I want. That's the best. Like an example is Rich. When I first met Rich, he was building that purple car, and he brought it to us, and it was an empty shell with a roll cage in it. And he brought this pile of parts that he had already kind of chosen himself, which sometimes with customers, it doesn't always go well because they just, buy a bunch of stuff that they think looks cool, but it might not always work perfectly together.
Yep.
But Rich luckily has impeccable taste. So we had a whole collection of very nice parts. And so he dropped that car off as an unpainted, just kind of bare shell and a whole bunch of parts. And we kind of sat there and talked, and he had kind of a vision, of what he wanted and what he kind of wanted the car to look like and kind of what he pictured as far as the layout of things. And he goes, all right, let me know when you're done. And anytime you kind of get that freedom and stuff like that, it's really cool because you have that ability to kind of be creative and kind of do it how you would want to do it. And then you also know that like you're building something that somebody's been picturing in their head. You know what I mean? So you're kind of like creating something that they've I know how I am with my car, and I'm constantly thinking about it. It's going through my head what we're doing, what we're building, what I'm doing next. How I'm going to do a certain thing or that or whatever. And so to do that and then kind of work with a customer and be able to kind of create those things that they've been picturing and stuff like that, it's pretty cool. Like anytime you get like a car all finished and you're like, all right, here it is, and you put the blanket off and you show it to them or whatever. It's really cool when they kind of stand back and like, wow, that's neat. That's exactly what I pictured, So
Yeah.
that would probably, I would have to say, is my favorite part. It's just being able to be creative and kind of build stuff from scratch, and you know what I mean, just the fabrication aspect of it and the creative
Nice.
aspect of it per se.
What do you hate
Now,
the
what
most?
I hate the most is, so this is going to be a two-part answer. I hate it, but there's the part of me that still kind of likes it, I think, and it's just the constant pressure, that's always there. There's always a deadline. There's always a next race. There's always, you know what I mean? This has to get done because of this, that, or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, with racing and stuff like that, like there's schedules, seasons, the season is the season. It's the time frame that you have to fit within. Races are only so far apart, depending on how much work you got to get done, you got to get it done. So like that's just part of it. That's life. You're gonna have the pressure that way. What's frustrating is when there's unneeded pressure, just from lack of planning or whatever, or we're rushing around or doing whatever. I mean, so that can get stressful.
Right.
So
Right.
I guess if I had to say something, it would probably be that. But that's anything it's any job. You ask anybody that, that's what you're gonna say about work.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
So,
I hear you. So here's another question for you. What do you feel like is missing from the no time racing?
what is missing? I mean, what I will say, what I feel is missing around us is a scene. It's fucking slim pickings up here.
Well,
I
do
mean,
you think that
we
has to
got
do with some of the tracks?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, like how are you gonna have a scene if you don't have a track? So
Right.
with the tracks dropping off and stuff like that, it's rough. Losing Atco. As much of a past as Atco might have had, it did seem like they were really making an effort to kind of turn that thing around and do some radio stuff. They had Tony and Bob put that series together and stuff that really seemed like it was a popular series. I know a ton of guys that were building cars for it and already racing it and stuff like that. So losing Atco was definitely that was a hurtful one right there. That was a kick in the chest there. But Cecil they have a super busy program and stuff like that, and they have the Outlaw Streetcar stuff, which is great, but there's not like a lot of open opportunities to just start having a whole ton of garage races there and stuff. So I mean, if I said if there was one thing that was needed, I mean, man, a place to race, or more opportunities to race per se. I'm not expecting someone to just go build a drag strip, obviously, but just if there was more opportunities to race local and stuff like that. I'm not going to sit here and complain about traveling. I know that's part of it. We'll travel to every race last year. You know what I mean? That's just something that we kind of accept and deal with, but it would be cool to have, a little bit more of a grudge scene more north of the Mason-Dixon line. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like, the further south, the busier they get,
So John said, "Is this the right link for the OnlyFans?" So
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
pop your OnlyFans link
that
in
would
here.
be the after hours show. Just stick around after the show for the OnlyFans.
He also Loopy said onlyfans.com/loopy@sat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loopy
I can't even
Eats
read.
ass, yeah.
Loopy eats
That's
ass.
Loopy.
That's what I said.
Everyone
I was
meet
like,
my
what's
friend Loopy.
sass? Oh man. So I actually have a video. I think this might have been like the first time we tested my car. Hold on one second. This is when they got Atco working really well. I
Yeah.
was going super fast down this track.
Yeah, no, that's that was the first test day that we took your car out. I think we actually ended up making like what we make 9 hits that day, in a
Yeah,
single test day. You know,
yeah,
and every time we came around the corner, June, the track prep guy that was working there at the time, shout out to June. He would stop us, make sure, he'd go out there, doll the prep up a little bit, and make sure we had a good surface out there. And we were able to get a lot of data that day. We made a lot of changes, and I think we left that day first time having your car out. With working with us and you brought the car to us, and we basically changed everything on the car, front to
yeah,
back.
yep.
So
And
that
we're
was the
still
first day.
changing
I think,
shit.
yeah. Well, we're doing it all over again.
Yep.
So, but I think we left that day with a new PB.
Oh yeah, we
So
did.
I
Yep.
think, I think that video that you just shot was taken at night. You know what I mean? That was Friday at ACO, and I remember we rolled out there. It was like 10:45 at night on a Friday. We were one
Yep.
of the last cars to go down the racetrack, and we left there with a PB.
Yep.
So, I mean, as far as if anyone had a question, if they turned that car around, I think that should answer it. So it
Keith
was
asked, "What size gloves do you wear?"
the biggest ones you got.
Carl said, "Magnum."
Yeah.
If you ever got a chance to meet Don in person, like his hand will literally see, I can't even do it. Literally wrap around this cup,
That'd be like a White Claw in my hand
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, exactly. One of the biggest guys in drag racing, let me tell you. So if money wasn't an option, would I guess what would be your favorite car? Like
Oh, it's a Pro
uh,
Mod. We're getting a
Pro
Pro
Mod?
Mod.
Yeah.
Yeah. hmm
Turbo or
Oh yeah.
blower?
Well, I don't know. If you're telling me money's not an option, it's getting a C rotor. It's getting a big screw blower sitting right up on top, and we're just gonna punish some engine parts. You know what I mean? We were gonna have some fun, and we were going to punish some engine parts. So yeah. If I had my druthers, that's what it would be. It would be a big giant screw rotor or screw blower, C rotor deal with a big ass badass set of zoomies on it, and we'd be blowing people's hats right off their heads in the water box.
Nice. Sam Squatch. 68 Rambler Pro Mod. That actually would be sick.
Dude, there was a guy a few years ago that had one. It didn't have an AMC motor, and I think it had a Hemi in it or some shit. But it was a black one. It was like 68. It was black. I'll have to dig out the picture somewhere. I don't know what the guy's name was, but I remember having these videos drooling over that thing when I was a kid.
Oh man, can't stop sneezing.
Dude, don't hurt yourself over there.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, this cold is serious. But so because they're a sponsor of mine, Titanium Dynamics is next door to you.
Yeah.
What all do those guys do? And because I have a ton of titanium in my car now. So why don't you talk about like what they do and like what all you used on my car?
Yeah, so complete titanium fabrication components. Everything from just any kind of raw material that you would use for titanium fabrication. If we don't have it, we can get it. As far as solid bar stock, all the way down to filler rod size. We sell all different types of filler rod, all the way up to 5-inch diameter solid bar. All the different grades of titanium, grade 5, grade 2, 3, 4, all the different grades of titanium. We do tubing, sheet. We have flanges for basically any turbo that you can think of. We stock all the, outlet flanges and stuff for doing titanium exhaust or dump tubes for wastegates or blow off valves or, the new boost gate. We just got, they released a flange for doing the Turbo Smart boost gate valve for the charge pipe control and stuff like that for, do a titanium dump tube for that kind of stuff. So basically anything that you would need to build things out of titanium in stock, ready to go.
Mark said he might need some titanium parts for the RVW car. He's trying to find 60 to 80 pounds.
Well, it sounds like you most definitely need some titanium parts for that car.
So before we wrap up, do you want to like show anybody like any cars you got going in the shop? What any toys?
Yeah, sure. We can do a kind of little walk around. I don't know what the best way to do this. I can kind of flip the
Yeah, that's perfect.
screen here, but then I got to kind of I'll take a look at it. So obviously this is the Nova here. We
My
just got
beautiful
done.
baby.
Yeah. So obviously switched over to a Hemi this year. Sold the LS deal. Like you said, Titanium Dynamics is on board. So everything. Sorry if my screen is weird. I got to kind of do this backwards here.
No, it's
But
okay. It's perfect.
you know what I mean? Everything, titanium exhaust, titanium charge pipes. We did, fuel cell, cage, and everything like that. Like you said, Garrett, we supplied the turbos, and then we also have, Garrett wastegates down here on the header still. But we are going to be doing the charge pipe control. So
Yep.
we have this set up to use one of the, the boost gates here on the charge pipe and stuff like that, and we're going to see how that works out. Haltech came on board this year, so we're control everything in the entire car with a Nexus R5. So that's going to give us complete control and configurability to basically do whatever we want with the car as far as outputs and everything like that. So it's just like a super powerful ECU that got really excited that they came on board and get to play with that this year.
Nice.
So,
and what else?
This one, right next door. This is our car. This is the Mustang. So finally getting this thing back together. Like I said, we had to redo everything on the front half of this deal. A little mishap at the wall. Inside, it got, we did a whole new carbon interior and stuff, carbon tubs, all that kind of, obviously got a new quarter panel and wheels, tires, all that stuff. So whole bunch of work that can't say that we were planning on doing, but finally, like I said, we are heading down towards the finish line on this one, trying to get it out this year in the next few months. Another project that just got dropped off. I don't know if you know Mike and Brian from Florida. So this is the Dexter car, Billet Coyote deal. So this is going to get a full twin turbo kit and everything, fuel cell, with a whole bunch of other goodies and stuff like that. Tons of titanium going on this one. So they're looking to get this thing out, do some extreme 28 and stuff like that. No time racing down in Florida.
That car is bright.
Dude, it is. Yeah. I'd say it's like highlighter.
Yeah.
Highlighter type.
Literally.
So,
yeah.
Really beautiful car. Really, really put together well. Obviously, no expense spare type deal on the motor and everything like that. So super excited to see what they're able to do with this deal.
Nice.
But like I said, then the Evo up on the lift, like I said, that we were talking about before, that's actually going back together. We're going to be campaigning that again with him. A couple more race cars and stuff like that. That's your buddy Mike's twin turbo Camaro. This is actually the Lamborghini is a shop car. We're using that to develop our own, in-house twin turbo kit and stuff like that. So that's another thing that we do, like I said, with the private label deal and everything like that. So
nice.
Just a quick run around. This is the fab shop area. So you've got a couple cars in here and stuff like that, fixture tables, all sorts of stuff. It's the rear out of the Nova sitting over there. So so got a bunch of stuff going on. All sorts of shit.
Eric asked, body part cage material.
Say what now?
I don't know.
Yeah. I have no idea what that even means.
Mark said, no way it won't have 20 boxes to control the entire car. That's correct.
Nope. Just one box to rule them all, baby.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
I'm going to be happy not having like a shit ton of wiring in there and stuff, Yeah,
we'll definitely be able to clean it up a whole bunch. We're excited about that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
This was very good. I think a lot of people know you already, but I think a lot of people don't know that you do crew chiefing and arrive and drive programs, things like that.
Yep.
You guys also offer, pretty much start to finish race cars. You know what I mean? So,
100%.
my car is pretty much like a 2.0 car, really. Because it's kind of gonna look the same, but underneath it's like a whole new car.
Yeah, I mean, we legitimately ripped everything out of your car. Your car was the bare shell. There wasn't a wire left in it, a hose, tube, nothing. So we went ahead this year with, like I said, we made a bunch of changes to get it to where we could race it last year, but we already knew that there were still a lot of changes to be made. So,
Right.
and then even with the success that we had last year, we knew that we were still outgunned, so we had to find some horsepower. So we were able to, you were able to make it happen with the Hemi and stuff like that and get that deal done. So just switching over to that and stuff, it's just kind of everything that goes with that.
Yep.
And we're kind of basically going from about 2,000 horsepower to 4,000 horsepower capable type deal.
Right.
So kind of got to upgrade a lot of the other systems involved with all that to just kind of keep everything kosher.
Yeah.
So
It's
definitely been a big undertaking for sure. But
yeah.
I think we're making really good progress, and I think we're getting pretty close here.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close. Everyone keeps asking me, when's your car going to be done? Beauty, perfection cannot be rushed.
Exactly. That's all you got to tell them. Tell them to enjoy their time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's basically what I told Jared Brunner. I was like, enjoy your time, dude.
Enjoy your time because we're coming. We're coming.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and guys, keep sharing this episode. Share it on your page, share it wherever in groups. It keeps me motivated to keep doing these interviews and things like that. But yeah, without further ado, see you guys later, and good night.
See you.